As Marcus Aurelius once wisely stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Have you ever experienced the frustration of a cluttered mind, the agony of indecision, or the paralysis that comes from overthinking? We've all been there, caught in the cycle of replaying conversations, overanalyzing potential outcomes, and drowning in a sea of what-ifs. Today we'll take on this challenge directly by exploring 10 practical Stoic strategies to conquer overthinking. If you're seeking ways to break free from this mental cycle and regain control of your thoughts, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's delve into these strategies now. 1. Picture your overthinking as an external force. Overthinking can creep into your mind like fog on a once clear day. It often begins as a single worry or idea, but swiftly expands until it has the power to knock you off your feet. This is a common challenge in our fast-paced world, where information bombards us like hail in a storm, cluttering our minds with thoughts of what if, what's next, or what could have been. As the Stoic philosopher king Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, visualizing overthinking as an external force. This doesn't involve turning your thoughts into adversaries, but rather recognizing that these thoughts are not the core of your being. They are intruders into your peace. Envision those invasive thoughts as passing clouds over a mountain, with you as that majestic and immovable mountain. You stand firm as the clouds drift by. So, how can you fend off these mental intruders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without becoming entangled. Imagine placing these thoughts in a bubble and merely watching them float away. This mental exercise not only lessens their weight, but reinforces the understanding that thoughts are transient. They can disrupt your peace only if you grasp onto them and empower them. Practicing this visualization creates a mental reflex that helps you detach from these thoughts, allowing them to dissipate before they gather into a storm. As you become more adept at distinguishing your true self from the onslaught of overthinking, it becomes easier to see that you are more than the sum of your thoughts. This distinction acts as a protective shield, much like wearing earplugs in a noisy crowd. It's a conscious, ongoing effort that strengthens with daily practice. The next time you catch yourself starting to overthink, pause and picture the thought as unnecessary noise, separate from your true self. In doing so, you not only shield yourself from the grips of overthinking, but also reclaim your mental space and inner peace one step at a time. 2. Take control by refocusing your energy. Have you ever found yourself spiraling into the depths of what-ifs and doomsday scenarios, replaying the same worries incessantly until mental exhaustion takes over? It's akin to having multiple browser tabs open in your mind, each playing a full-blast video that you can't seem to pause. This mental juggling is a hallmark of modern life, where the constant pressure to keep up with everything can lead to an unrelenting cycle of overthinking. However, just as a cluttered desk benefits from tidying up, a cluttered mind can be organized. Refocusing your mental energy isn't solely about attaining mental peace. It's about regaining control and silencing the ceaseless noise of what could be so you can fully appreciate what is. The Stoic sage Seneca eloquently captured this wisdom when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This wisdom serves as the cornerstone for taking control by redirecting your energy. To combat overthinking, start by grounding yourself in the present. Focus on a task, even a small one, and channel your energy into completing it. This shift in focus can pull you out of the vortex of future what-ifs and anchor you firmly in the current moment. The practical application is simple yet profound. Engage in an activity that demands your full attention. It could be as straightforward as organizing your workspace, taking a brisk walk, or immersing yourself in a book. These actions require your presence in the now, not dwelling on tomorrow or yesterday. By commanding your thoughts to align with your actions, you're not merely distracting yourself, you're taking charge of where your mental energy is invested. It's important to remember that Stoicism doesn't advocate suppressing thoughts, but rather managing them by choosing where to direct your mental energy. This practice is a form of mental discipline, and the objective is not to entirely eliminate overthinking, as that is an unrealistic expectation. Instead, the goal is to recognize when your thoughts are not serving you and possess the tools to redirect them. Think of it as training a muscle. The more you exercise this power of refocusing, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. Over time, you'll discover that the once overwhelming surge of overthinking can be tamed, wave by wave, with deliberate action and presence. 3. Embrace impermanence and practice letting go. Let's acknowledge that our minds frequently become entangled in a loop, revisiting past events or worrying about the future. This mental playground is where overthinking thrives, with thoughts sticking around longer than they should. It's a challenge that doesn't discriminate. It affects students, professionals stressed about presentations, and anyone struggling to fall asleep as their thoughts race at lightning speed. In the midst of this mental marathon, we can find wisdom in the words of Epictetus, who tells us that he who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive now. While this quote may sound weighty, it fundamentally addresses the concept of impermanence, a central theme in Stoicism. Embracing impermanence means recognizing that everything changes, including the thoughts that seem so stubborn in our minds. When we overthink, we often hold on to our thoughts as if they are permanent fixtures in our lives. But the truth is, thoughts come and go. They are not everlasting. This realization can be a source of hope when overthinking ensnares us. Practically embracing impermanence involves developing a habit of letting go. It's a form of mental decluttering, where you consciously release thoughts that no longer serve you. You can visualize this process as a river, with each thought portrayed as a leaf on the water's surface, gently drifting away. Alternatively, you may picture your thoughts as ever-changing clouds that reshape and eventually move on. This visualization not only provides immediate relief, but also deepens your understanding of the transient nature of thoughts. Incorporating this practice into your daily routine can transform your relationship with your thoughts. It's not about forcefully ejecting them, but rather allowing them to depart. Letting go is not a sign of giving up. It's an act of courage. It signifies your choice not to allow redundant thoughts to occupy space in your mind, rent-free. As you become more adept at this practice, you'll discover a newfound mental space and a tranquility that was always present, though hidden beneath the clamor of overthinking. Embracing impermanence isn't just a technique, it represents a shift toward a more serene and present way of living. 4. Create a worry period. It's a shared human experience to have persistent worries lurking at the back of our minds. These concerns can be as constant as the hum of a refrigerator, always present, sometimes subtle, yet undeniably there. They tend to hijack our thoughts at any given time, often when we're attempting to focus on work, cherish moments with friends, or, ironically, when we're seeking sleep. It's as if our minds are stages, and these worries are the uninvited actors who refuse to exit. In light of this, consider the wisdom imparted by the Stoic teacher Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Although this quote may appear unrelated, it serves as a potent reminder to prioritize our peace of mind over succumbing to worry, out of fear of appearing complacent or naive. Creating a worry period is a strategic approach to give these concerns their moment in the spotlight, but only during the encore, not the main act. You designate a specific time each day for this purpose, perhaps allocating 20 minutes in the afternoon, when you are allowed to wholeheartedly focus on your worries. During this dedicated time, you immerse yourself in your concerns, examining them closely, understanding their origins, and possibly even jotting them down. What are you truly worried about? How probable are these scenarios? What actions can you take regarding them? This concentrated session often unveils that many of our worries are like shadows, seemingly substantial but lacking real substance when confronted directly. This process also trains your mind to understand that there is an appropriate time and place for worrying, and it's not an all-day, everyday activity. When the designated worry period concludes, you move forward. You have allotted the appropriate time for your worries and can now set them aside. By compartmentalizing your concerns in this way, you can regain control over your day. The objective is not to completely eliminate worry. This is an impossible task. However, by confining your worries, you diminish their impact on your life. This technique is akin to tidying up your mental room, placing your thoughts in their respective corners, and reveling in the serenity of organized mental space. You'll likely discover that worries lose their power when they're not given free rein, making life feel a bit lighter and a tad more enjoyable. 5. Break down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When the grip of overthinking tightens its hold, it often feels as though we are burdened by an immense boulder. The sheer size of our concerns can appear to match the weight of the world, leaving us pinned beneath the oppressive cloud of our own thoughts. It's a sensation not unique to us, but a shared human condition, magnified in a world that demands high performance in every facet of our lives, whether it's work, relationships, personal growth, or social status. This relentless pursuit of excellence can immobilize us with indecision and fear. However, within the fog of overthinking, Marcus Aurelius offered a guiding light. He eloquently stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight forms the bedrock of our fifth technique, transforming overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When your mind is racing with a substantial worry or a complex problem, the solution is to break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. Ask yourself, what's the very next step I can take? Not 5, 10, or 20 steps down the line, but just the next one. Acting on this single small step may seem trivial, but it is a potent antidote to overthinking. By focusing on one concrete action, you redirect your energy from worrying to doing. This technique is akin to unraveling a massive knot, working through one small tangle at a time. It's not about dismissing the complexity of your concerns, but about navigating them with purpose and precision. The beauty of this method lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Each small step you take builds momentum, and as you look back, you'll realize that the boulder of worry has been transformed into a pile of pebbles crossed one step at a time. By following this method, you cultivate patience, resilience, and trust in your ability to confront challenges head-on. What once appeared insurmountable now lies behind you, and your overthinking is replaced with a profound sense of accomplishment and clarity. 6. Shift your perspective to gratitude. Our minds have a knack for leading us into a labyrinth of overthinking, fixating on what we lack, the potential mishaps looming on the horizon, or our unfulfilled aspirations. It's a relentless cycle that can leave us feeling emotionally depleted and discontent. Often, overthinking is born from an intense focus on life's negatives or what's yet to come, overshadowing the goodness that's already present. Seneca once imparted the wisdom that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This piece of Stoic wisdom serves as an invitation to realign our perspective from scarcity to abundance and from overthinking to gratitude. It urges us to recognize the value of the present moment and the numerous blessings we tend to overlook when our thoughts are consumed by future worries. To embark on this transformation, begin by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for every day. These expressions of gratitude don't have to be grandiose. They simply need to be heartfelt. It could be as simple as savoring a delicious cup of coffee, relishing the comfort of your favorite hoodie, or receiving a heartfelt message from a friend. This uncomplicated practice possesses the power to pivot your mind away from the ceaseless cycle of overthinking and steer it toward an authentic sense of appreciation for the present moments in your life. By grounding yourself in gratitude, you're not only quelling the cacophony of overthinking, but also enhancing your daily existence. Gratitude acts as a magnifying glass, illuminating the positive aspects of our lives. Over time, it can gradually alter your inner dialogue from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This fresh perspective can revolutionize your approach to life's challenges, transforming them into opportunities for recognizing and appreciating the goodness already intertwined with your world. The significance of this practice extends beyond momentary well-being. It forms the bedrock of contentment, providing you with a resilient foundation to weather life's inevitable highs and lows. 7. Focus on effort, not outcome. Overthinking often occurs when our minds become entangled in a dance with the future. We fixate on potential outcomes, the what-ifs, and the countless possibilities, both positive and negative. This projection into the future can be paralyzing, as we become consumed by fear and obsess over the potential consequences of our actions rather than the actions themselves. Our society places significant emphasis on outcomes, often associating the end result with the worthiness of our efforts. This perspective can lead us to believe that if the outcome is uncertain, the journey is not worth pursuing. However, a Stoic quote by Epictetus offers us a clear directive. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from the outcomes we cannot control to our efforts and intentions. This doesn't imply that we should abandon goals or aspirations. Instead, it emphasizes that the true value lies in the quality of our efforts, the integrity of our actions, and the virtue with which we navigate our path. To put this technique into practice, whenever you find yourself caught in the web of overthinking regarding potential results, consciously redirect your thoughts to the effort itself. Ask yourself whether you are giving your best, acting with good intentions, and remaining true to your values. This approach encourages you to be fully present in the process, to put in the work without the burden of what might or might not transpire. It transforms your actions from mere steps toward a particular outcome into manifestations of your character and commitment. With this shift in focus, you come to realize that your path is not just a means to an end, but an embodiment of living with purpose, where each step is an accomplishment in itself. The final 3 strategies presented in this series unlock the door to fresh perspectives. They empower you to access untapped strengths, cultivate practical resilience, and navigate life's complexities with a sense of balance. These tools are designed to liberate you from the shackles of overthinking, allowing you to embrace the present moment and engage with life with renewed clarity and vigor. 8. Practice voluntary discomfort. Our minds often lead us into a whirlpool of overthinking when faced with potential discomfort or change. We get caught in a cycle of playing out various scenarios, attempting to predict every possible outcome and preparing for every conceivable discomfort. This mental rehearsal can be incredibly draining, trapping us within the confines of our comfort zones and stunting our growth. Overthinking becomes the warden of this self-imposed mental prison. As Marcus Aurelius once wisely noted, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. This notion aligns with the Stoic practice of confronting challenges head-on instead of evading them. By intentionally introducing voluntary discomfort into our lives, we can train our minds to better handle uncertainty and reduce the grip of overthinking. Practicing voluntary discomfort involves taking small, deliberate actions that push us outside of our comfort zones. These actions teach us resilience and adaptability. To incorporate this practice into modern life, you can start with something relatively minor, such as taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or opting to walk instead of drive. These choices disrupt your usual routine and require you to sit with any discomfort that arises without judgment. It's essential to understand that voluntary discomfort isn't about punishing yourself. Instead, it's a way of demonstrating to your overthinking mind that discomfort isn't as intimidating as it makes it out to be. Engaging in voluntary discomfort has a paradoxical effect. It increases your comfort with the various aspects of life. By consistently stepping into the uncomfortable, the unfamiliar gradually becomes familiar. As a result, your mind becomes less reactive to change and more focused on what you can control, your responses. This transformative shift in perspective not only diminishes overthinking, but also builds a core of inner strength that remains unshaken by the ebb and flow of life's circumstances. Embracing voluntary discomfort allows you to break free from the chains of overthinking and embrace a life with greater resilience and adaptability. 9. Reflect on the transience of life. When we find ourselves ensnared in the tempest of overthinking, it often results from an excessive focus on the minute details of our lives, causing us to lose sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become entangled with, "What if this happens?" or "What if that doesn't work out?" making even the smallest issues seem insurmountable and consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied but wasteful of it." This thought-provoking reminder encourages us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence. Each moment spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a slice of life not fully savored. Stoicism encourages us to ponder whether our worries will hold any significance in the grand timeline of our lives. To combat overthinking, it is vital to regularly step back and consider our life in its entirety. We should recognize that many of the things that occupy our thoughts are transient and ultimately insignificant in the long run. When overwhelmed by our thoughts, we should pause and remind ourselves of life's transience. We should question whether this moment of overthinking is truly worthy of the limited time we have. By contemplating the transience of life, we naturally prioritize our experiences and concerns. This perspective doesn't call for us to become morose or indifferent. Rather, it encourages us to cherish the present and focus on what truly matters. It serves as a powerful antidote to overthinking, aligning our attention with the present, enriching our appreciation for the now and diminishing the weight of future-focused anxieties. 10. Seek wisdom from outside yourself. Our own minds can sometimes resemble a perplexing maze where each turn leads to more confusion and overthinking. We attempt to solve a puzzle, only to find that the pieces keep multiplying, leaving us feeling trapped. This encapsulates the challenge of overthinking in a nutshell, a cycle that starts and ends within the confines of our own thoughts, often without a clear exit. As Seneca, a celebrated man of wisdom, once wisely said, "Consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters concerning yourself. His counsel may then be useful where your own self-love might impair your judgment." These simple words convey a profound truth that can help us navigate the stormy seas of overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking insight from outside ourselves can break the cycle of rumination. This wisdom may come in various forms, such as the fresh perspective of a friend, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in literature. In the modern context, you can look for people whose opinions you trust and respect, whether from your circle or professionals, with the experience to guide you. Sharing your thoughts with them can provide clarity as you articulate what's on your mind and open the door for objective feedback that you might have missed while overthinking. This technique does more than offer practical solutions. It serves as a reminder that human connection is invaluable. When we share our burdens, they often become lighter. This isn't a sign of weakness, but rather a recognition of the collective strength we possess as social beings. Let the wisdom of others guide you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you'll discover that the puzzle becomes easier to solve, not because the problems are any less complex, but because you are no longer trying to tackle them in isolation. Which of these methods resonated with you? Please let us know your reflections in the comments. Today's insights are but stepping stones in our shared journey of intellectual growth. If you value the pursuit of wisdom, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. Together, let us persist on this path, constantly seeking the wisdom the Stoic masters have set before us.